It's about the I got to say, it's the stupidest thing in sports.
Gets the ball, gets back, pulls up for the win. Got it! Detroit basketball.
Oh, Holloman looks the clock. Half court for the win.
Oh! The Lions go for it. The Vikings bring it in. The pass is a touchdown to give.
Javi Baez, homered earlier. First one, in the air, deep left field, again! Yes, Tigers win! Javi is unstoppable!
This is BS Sports.
And away we go. Welcome one, welcome all. I hate these evening games. I do. I truly do. Because you know what? All day, this has just been building up in me. This is a huge game. Lions, Eagles. Obviously, I think the winner fully solidifies themselves as a major contender in the NFC. Eagles running out with the American flag. I like that. That's pretty cool. But this is about as close as I think I've ever seen a game on ESPN on their little analytics here. They got Lions winning at just 49%, Eagles at 50.6. So a very slight edge in favor of Philly. They're 2.5-point favorites going into this game, which is basically a toss-up. That when you get that line in Vegas, they're basically telling you, don't bet this game because you're probably going to lose. But man, the big story going into this game, unfortunately, is Sam Laporta going down for Detroit, which is going to be a huge loss in the offense because not only is he great in the passing game, he's great in the blocking game, and this offensive line has struggled, and they're going up against one of the toughest defensive lines in football. So I don't know. Like I do think the Lions. I picked the Lions to win, but I always pick them to win. So you can take that for what you will. But this is going to be a very tight game, I think, because I don't think the Eagles' offense is anything that's that crazy. But granted, our defense is struggling. Still no Kirby Joseph. I'm surprised he's not on IR at this point because he basically has been out since like late. When did he last played before the? I think it was before the Tampa Bay game. He wasn't playing in that game, if I believe. Let me think. Was it the Chiefs game was the last game he played in? I don't know. But either way, it's been a while, basically, since Kirby Joseph was in the game. Oh, meanwhile, the Red Wings just took a 1-0 lead. Alex DeBrincat with a power play goal in the second period. But man, I just if the Lions can get this win, I'm telling you, if they get this win, I don't want to hear anything from anybody about how this team is not Super Bowl good or how they don't want to win. I don't want to hear anything about any of that. All right? It's a nice view of the city of Philadelphia. One of, by the way, the worst cities in the world. Those people need to be quarantined. Their fans threw snowballs at Santa Claus. I believe that there was also an incident in which a Philadelphia Flyers fan tried to jump into the penalty box and fight a hockey player. I don't know if you know that much about hockey, but that's probably the least likely athlete you'd want to fight. Like that, there's a whole part of hockey which is just they actually fight each other. And granted, they still get penalized, but that's like an aspect of the game. So I don't know what compelled a Philadelphia sports fan to want to jump in to the penalty box with another hockey player. That just seems quite silly. Does that actually count as a DeBrincat goal? Because it went through the pads, was slowly moving, didn't quite cross the line. What are they looking at? Well, maybe they're looking at who is credited for the goal. I think it'd be DeBrincat because he last touched it just the second before it went in. But honestly, like I could see this game going either way because I don't think the Eagles are this amazing powerhouse of a team with an offense that can't be stopped. And I also don't think the Lions have proven entirely that they are an unbeatable force, at least when compared to last year's 15-2 team where they were just body bagging teams. Granted, they have more momentum going into this game offensively with an excellent game last week against Washington. So I'd like to go undefeated against the NFC East. We got the Giants next week as well, who nearly etched out a win against Green Bay, which is interesting that game was that close. And And then we would have the Cowboys, I believe, on Thursday Night Football after Thanksgiving. So I'd like to sweep the NFC East. That would be nice. But we got to win this game first. And if we win this game, we would, I think, stay in first. Because right now, Green Bay, I think, technically is in first because we haven't played our game yet. Oh, wow. The Seattle Mariners are re-signing Josh Naylor on a 5-year deal. All right, so the Mariners at least bringing back one of their star players. It's a good move. It's a good move. They traded for him, and now they're bringing him back. That's pretty major. Hey man, I wanted my Tigers to go after him, but that's fine. I guess we already had Torkelson, but whatever. Put him at third. One of them. All right, here we go. Oh, I hate these evening games because you know what's even going to be worse? I'm already tired. Like this, it's already been a very long day. A good long day, but a long day nonetheless. It is a windy night in Philly, which could very well affect the offenses of both teams, especially in the passing game. So I don't know what's going on with my internet right now, but the picture on YouTube TV will sometimes be very clear, sometimes it won't be. I don't know why. It's not like there's a windstorm going on outside here. There was a very strong wind gust yesterday. That was fun to experience, but no, I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's because I'm also streaming the Red Wings game, but the picture on that one looks fine. Either way, I can still see, so we'll get through it together, you and me. All right. Tremendous. Yeah, so the Lions currently at the 6th seed in the wild card, which is just crazy. I guess the Bears are technically the division leaders with their win today, which is, looking at these standings right now is just insane. Okay, thanks, bot. Go ahead and ban that user. 36 degrees is what it feels like. 15-mile-an-hour winds, gusts up to 30. I think the windy conditions from yesterday. Oh my gosh, look at how that is. Oh my gosh, Jake Bates and Jake Elliott's pregame kicks went wide. That is okay, we're in for it, boys. This could be very interesting. I don't know who's starting with the ball. Okay, good. Lions get the ball in the third quarter. I love that. That's great. Super. Big fan of that. So Jake Bates will kick it off. Will Shipley and Xavier Gibson out to return it for Philadelphia. Lions have yet to get a win on Sunday Night Football so far this year. Just their second Sunday night game of the season. And the kick will go all the way to the end zone. And the Eagles will knee it for a touchback. In comes Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. It's a strong offensive line. That is a scary offensive line. I like listening to the little player intros, so that's why I went quiet there. All right. Looks like Tyleek Williams is out there to start for Detroit. Defensive tackle out of Ohio State, first-round pick last year. Hurts is going to start under center. Barkley in the backfield. There's the snap, play action pass coming from Hurts. Hurts throws it up the middle. It is incomplete. Nearly caught by Devontae Smith. They're going to say, I believe he was out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Pretty good coverage there from Amik Robertson. No Terrion Arnold today for Detroit. He left last week's game with a concussion. So again, he's struggled with injuries. He had, coming out of the injury, he looked like he was playing decently and then gets hurt again. Hate to see that for him. Hurts out of the shotgun. Barkley to his left. He's going to throw. Hurts looking, throws it up the middle. It is dropped, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Jack Campbell was in coverage. Dallas Goedert, the intended receiver, just drops it. So now an early 3rd down and 10 for Detroit. If they can get a stop here, force a 3 and out, that would be massive. A great way to start the game for sure. This is not an easy offense to stop, for no doubt about that. Nothing but passing play so far, though. And now Hurts empty. He's going to throw almost certainly, unless this is a design run for him, which he can do. Pass coming. Hurts throws it up the middle. It is caught for a 1st down. A.J. Brown, first catch of the night for him. And the Eagles fans showing their appreciation. Obviously, the story of the week was how he was not getting utilized. He was making posts on social media. Well, he looked like he was well utilized on that play. Big missed opportunity there for the Lions defense to get off of the field. So it'll be 1st down and 10 at their own, or the Eagle own 47-yard line. Another pass coming from Hurts. Hurts under some pressure, rolling to his left. Now he's going to throw it deep, looking for a man. He's got it. And no, they're going to say incomplete, but there is a flag down on the play. Barkley was the receiver. See what the flag is. And there's going to be offensive holding on the Eagles. Johnson, number 65, called for it. I believe he was holding Aiden Hutchinson. And look, that is an actual strategy, is to just, try to get away with a hold, because Aiden Hutchinson was about ready to take Jalen Hurts' head off. So you'll take an extra down and make it 1st and 20, then a 2nd down and long. Any day of the week, as far as I'm concerned. But that's the effect that Aiden Hutchinson can have. Even if he doesn't get a sack, he'll draw a hold. He'll draw other penalties. He'll force the offensive line to focus in on him, allow for other guys to get to the quarterback, presumably. Hurts going to hand it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to be swamped down there by Aleem McNeil. Or no, that was Tyleik Williams. I believe Alex Anzalone said he was father of 2. That is not a school, Alex, but that's okay. I believe he went to Florida. Pass coming from Hurts. He quickly gets rid of it as he was under immediate pressure. It is incomplete. Wanted A.J. Brown, and there was nobody home. It'll be 3rd down and 15. Another huge opportunity for this defense to get off the field. Got to get the stop on a 3rd down and long. And Aiden Hutchinson early on making his presence known with the hold call and then nearly sacking Jalen Hurts there. So 3rd down and long. Hutchinson leads the league in forced fumbles and pressures with 7 sacks on the season in total. You'd like to see that number get a little bit higher, but obviously he's getting a lot of effect on this game. And Hurts, plenty of time, going to throw. Plenty of time. Now he's running with it. And now finally he is brought down. I don't know why they're not blowing the whistle. Finally they do. I don't know if they'll call that a sack, but one way or the other, it is a stop. Al-Quadin Muhammad, I believe, got to him. It'll be 4th down, and the punt team coming out for Philadelphia. Nobody got open. I mean, Hurts had all the time in the world. You got to give credit to the Detroit secondary for having good coverage there. So Khalif Raymond out to return the punt from man. Averages 51.8 on his punts. There's the snap, and there's the punt. Raymond going to take this one out from his own 15. He's going the wrong direction right now. and somehow he's able to get back close to the 15-yard line. He might have lost a yard with that little maneuver. So no score. Lions offense coming out on the field after the defense comes up with a pretty quick stop. 12:16 to go. All right. That was what I wanted to see. Defense looked good on that opening sequence. Meanwhile, Red Wings now tied with the Rangers 1-1, but they're in a power play. Let's see, 35 seconds. Oh boy. Oh, nearly had a misadvantage there. Oh man, Red Wings almost gave up a shorthanded goal. Doesn't look like they're going to do much on this power play. Red Wings have 27 shots to the Rangers 12, and it's a 1-1 game. That is the story of this team since like December of last year. Bunch of shots, none of them going in the net. And that's so much for that power play. 5 minutes to go in the second period in that. All right, now the one thing that I noticed in that opening sequence for Philadelphia is they ran the ball one time. So my thought is if we can try to establish the run, that would give us some control of this game, because it seems to me that the Eagles are trying to, for whatever reason, not run their offense through Saquon Barkley. Now, granted, it's just one drive, so maybe throughout the game they can adjust. But that, from my understanding, that has been the complaint from Eagles fans. As another bot makes an appearance, and you're dead. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch a lot of Eagle football. Sometimes when they're on in my area, I'll have them on. But I mean, look, this game, the difference in this game could be the kind of game that Jahmyr Gibbs or Saquon Barkley has. If Gibbs has the better game, Lions could come away with the win. If Barkley has the better game, Eagles probably come away with the win. Especially with this wind, I think it's going to be hard to throw the ball. We already saw, at the very least, Detroit had done fairly well. Look at all these people doing the Rocky, like the Rocky steps. I would kind of want to do that. I love the movie Rocky. It's one of my favorites. All right, 12:16 to go in the opening quarter. Lions offense out there for the first time. No score. Defense came up with a stop. Lions got the ball at their own 14. Goff under center. Play action, going to throw. Goff throws it. It is caught by Amon-Ra St. Brown for about a 9-yard gain on a nice rolling pass. I didn't know Khalif Raymond went to Holy Cross. I didn't know Khalif Raymond went to Holy Cross. I thought he would go to a bigger school, to be honest. Jamison Williams going in motion to the left side. Goff going to throw again. Goff on a screen out to Gibbs. Gibbs cuts to the outside, picks up the first down. And a couple of passes for positive yardage for the Lions offense. Of course, Dan Campbell still on play calling duties, taking those away from the offensive coordinator, John Morton, after a struggle of a game against the Minnesota Vikings. Now Goff in an empty set. Jeez. I already said try to establish the run, but looks like Lions want to throw it. Goff passes tipped and intercepted. Intercepted by the Eagles and taken down to about the 11-yard line. Jordan Davis tipped the ball at the line, and an unfortunate turnover sets the Eagles up in a perfect spot. That is a brutal, brutal turnover. Jordan Davis, one of the better defensive tackles in the league. He was getting double teamed too for a moment, just able to get a piece of it. Graham Glasgow was on him, and Goff. I mean, that's just brutal. I mean, if I'm Khalif Raymond, he kind of had his back turned there. Cooper DeJean had the interception, but Khalif needs to have a better eye for where that football is, because, I mean, even if he does pick it off, you could at the very least tackle him at that spot and not put the Eagles in a first down with just 11 yards to get to the end zone. Now the defense for Detroit's got to come up with some plays. Hurts going to keep it. Hurts going to throw. It is caught and brought down for about a 1-yard gain. A.J. Brown with the reception makes it 2nd down and 9. Eagles through week 10 have the highest red zone touchdown percentage in the league at 81%. Not exactly the spot you want to see them. Boy. Momentum swing completely back in favor of Philadelphia. There's a handoff to Barkley, and that will go for another about a 1-yard gain, if that. It'll be 3rd down. Boy, you wonder. I mean, obviously, this is not an easy 3rd down to get. You wonder what Philadelphia is going to do here because the wind is going to make any kick a lot more difficult, even given it's not very deep. And we know Nick Sirianni is an aggressive offensive mind. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't get this. They end up going for it, and that would be a huge swing of momentum in favor of Detroit if they do manage to get a stop here or two. It's 3rd down and 8. Hurts in an empty set. 3 receivers out wide on the left or on the right side. Pass coming. Hurts' throw is incomplete. Rock Yassin on A.J. Brown with a nice stop there. It is 4th down and 8. And are they just going to end up kicking the field goal? Boy, that wasn't a great throw. A.J. Brown, ball was a little bit behind him. Tried to make a catch with one hand. He wasn't going to be able to get it anyhow. Here is Jake Elliott. They're just going to go for the field goal. Obviously, they didn't get any yards there, so I think that's probably the right move. But this is some decent wind coming all over. It's a 27-yard field goal attempt, so not too deep. Kick is up, and he nails it. Wind had no effect there, and the Eagles take advantage of the interception. It is 3-0 Philadelphia with 9:43 to go. Not the start that the Lions wanted, but at the very least, defense looking pretty decent. And now now it's buffering. Come on, YouTube TV. Like what? You just got ESPN back, and now your services are just terrible. All right. Well, that's obviously not the swing that I wanted this game to take, but I also can't be that mad at Jared for a tip ball interception because, I mean, usually those actually don't end up as picks, but still, that's tough. That's tough. Got to answer. At least get a field goal. Get yourself right back in this game. Ideally, you get a touchdown and, your defenses look solid, and they had them at the 11, and they got like 2 yards. So, again, I think I've mentioned this. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show or if I mentioned it in my picks. That's the same thing. If the Lions' defense can keep them in this game, which so far, again, it's only 3-0 in the first quarter. So far, they have done that. All the Lions got to do is just break through on this Eagle defense just a couple of times. A minute 16 to go in the second period, by the way. Red Wings still tied 1-1 with the Rangers. I'm keeping track of that game as well. Red Wings managed to blow a 4-1 lead last night against the Buffalo Sabres, a game that I literally forgot happened. I was out all day yesterday. I forgot that game happened. I maybe a couple hours ago, I was watching Hockey Psychology. He was like, "Oh yeah, Saturday night hockey," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. The Red Wings played a game last night. Did they win?" And then I checked, and they did not. All right. So first kickoff of the night for the Eagles. And hopefully the second to last as far as I'm concerned, because they will have to kick it off to start the third quarter. That kick is going to be taken out at about the 5. Raymond is going to take it to about the 21-yard line. And a decent play there on the Eagles' special teams. But better field position for Detroit to start this drive. So Goff now lining up under center with Gibbs behind him. Khalif Raymond going in motion to the left side. Handoff goes to Gibbs. Gibbs trying to cut to the outside. He's going to be brought down for a loss. Zach Braun with the tackle there makes it second down and long. Or Zach Braun. I'm sorry. Did I say Braun? Like Brawny? Jeez, that is a scary human being chasing after Jahmyr Gibbs. So second down and 11. St. Brown going in motion to the right side. Goff in the shotgun, Gibbs to his left. Brock Wright now going in motion to the right side. There's the snap, pass coming from Goff. Goff under some pressure. Flag comes in the backfield. He is brought down and sacked. We'll see what the flag is. This more than likely is going to be on Detroit for a holding, and it is. See if they decline it. Will be offensive holding. Penalty will be declined, so it'll be third down and 1,000,000. I believe that was Tate Ratledge, the rookie, called for the hold. But this Eagles defense making its presence known very early on in this game. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. All right, Goff out of the shotgun again. It's third down and 16. Need to get to the 31-yard line. He's at his own 15. Pass coming. Jared has time. Throws it up the middle. It is caught, dropped, incomplete. St. Brown was the intended receiver, and it was short. The Lions go 3 and out. So the punt team coming out for the first time tonight for Detroit. Jack Fox has not seen the football field in a couple of weeks. Did not punt all of last week, as now I'm buffering again. Okay, now we got lower quality picture. That's all right. And Fox will boom that one deep into Eagle territory, and it'll take a Lions and now slightly an Eagles bounce. There is a flag on the play. Hogan Hatton, the long snapper, touched it down at about the Eagle 30. We'll see what this flag is. Could push the Eagles back further. And there's going to be a holding on the Eagles. So that is going to push him back even further. Trotter Jr., number 54 for the Eagles, call for the penalty. So the Lions catch a break there and push the Eagles all the way back to, I believe, their own 20. 3-0 Philly. 8:19 to go in the opening quarter. Expect Trajan Langdon? What do you mean? What are you talking about, Detroit fan? Use your words. All right. So, not great showing from our offense on either drive. Turnover and a 3-and-out. I did say that this Eagles defense is going to be tough, but it's just 3-0. So, defense, keep us in this game. Maybe we get a turnover, get ourselves into some good field position. That would be nice. But I believe the Red Wings game is at the intermission. Yes. Red Wings game is tied at the intermission. Langdon only had one deadline as Pistons GM, but he at least made a move since Schroeder at least helped them. Well, yeah, I mean, but he made a very clever move. But I don't want to say he went all out. I mean, he made it. He made a clever move getting Schroeder, but you could also say, well, we needed an Ivy replacement. We need a decent point guard to back up Cade, who could shoot fairly well, and Schroeder was the right move. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of our GMs are really known for crazy trade deadline moves. Certainly not Steve Yzerman. Obviously, Brad Holmes standing pat this year. But if the biggest need was defense, biggest need was offensive line, and offensive line barely ever gets moved. So I wasn't stoked about the fact that no move was made. But I mean, of the moves that were made, there were none of them that was like, man, I really wish the Lions would have done that. Maybe Jalen Phillips, but I don't think Jalen Phillips was like this amazing, you had to go get him player. Yeah, right. And that trade, the Mantha trade, ended up aging incredibly poorly because what have we gotten from that? We got Jacob Verana, who is no longer on the team. And I believe that was also the trade that netted us the pick for Sebastian Kosa. And Kosa has not made the NHL yet. And also we got hurt in the AHL. So, I mean, we had the Jack Flaherty trade last year. Scott Harris. So hold on, this is crazy to me. The second Wicked movie's already coming out. Didn't the first Wicked movie come out this year? Am I crazy? Is my timeline's all warped? Didn't the first one come out this year? How quickly are they making these movies? Toss out to Barkley. He's got room to run, and Barkley is going to get that all the way to about the 35-yard line before finally getting forced out of bounds. It's the first big run for him of the night. I mean, they just saw where all the defensive players for Detroit were and said, Saquon, go the opposite direction. There was nobody really there other than Tyleik Williams, and I believe that was Rock Yassin who pushed him out there. I knew that. I knew they split the musical into two parts, but my question is, like, have they just had the whole movie in existence, or like, you know what I mean? Anyway, Hurts is going to throw on a play action. Pass is caught by Dallas Goedert for a short gain. It'll be second down and maybe 5 or 6. 7.5 to go in the opening quarter. I see. So that they can cry on interviews, basically. Second down and 4 was a 6-yard gain on the catch from Goedert. Handoff goes to Barkley, and that will not get to the first down marker. It'll be 3rd down and 1, maybe 2, depending on that spot. Got to think like a producer. Very true. More movies equals more money. Okay, now the picture is like great. Now it's like this beautiful, like 60 FPS. High resolution. Are they going a block on a tush push? I don't think they're in tush push formation right now. No, they're definitely not. 3rd down and 1. It's a quick handoff to Barkley, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Coming off the edge there was Trevor Nowaski. That's a great play by the Detroit defense. It'll be 4th down and relatively short. And they're going to have to punt this one out because they lost a couple of yards there. That's an interesting looking play there by Philadelphia, but a great stop there by the defense. Oh, I didn't know Trevor Nowaski went to Saginaw Valley. The Cardinals. A couple of my good friends. Both of them went to Saginaw Valley. They're brothers. So, I mean, I don't know. They got a good pipeline there. There's a punt up and away to Khalif Raymond. It'll be fair caught, and he is ripped down. Not fair caught, I guess. And the special teams for Philadelphia once again setting the Lions up deep in their own territory. It is 3-0 Philadelphia, 5:36 to go in the opening quarter. All right, do we really need to see the Michigan State highlights, ESPN? Because this is a national broadcast game. I think that's probably the reason why. I mean, typically they do, a drive, commercial break, unless it's a really short drive, they don't normally do drive, break, even though my preferred set is drive until touchdown and then break, or drive, break. I'm not a TV producer. I'm not a network analyst, but that to me is the best winning experience. Hopefully we get some MSU highlights on Tuesday. That's for sure. Big game against Kentucky. Had a nice win on, Thursday night against San Jose State. The other Spartans on the Big Ten Network. Got to watch that game. Cohen Carr apparently had three plays in SportsCenter's top 10 plays, which is pretty crazy. They did let San Jose State get kind of back into that game a little bit, but there was no world in which Michigan State was losing to San Jose State. Oh, that looks like a nice drive. Very rural area of somewhere in the world. Looks like the United States, like Appalachia. I want KFC to go with the bacon. Wait, what? What are you talking about? What is happening? What I don't understand. Is that feast on SEC? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now, because we already beat Arkansas. They're in the SEC. Now we're playing Kentucky Fried Chicken. Even though University of Kentucky, they're the Wildcats, so that the analogy doesn't exactly work. All right. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for Philly, up in the box. One of the better defensive coordinators in the NFL today. And he's done a pretty good job. His defense has gotten a turnover that resulted in a field goal and then a 3-and-out. Goff under center. They're going to do a quick end around to Jamison Williams. He's got a nice hole up front, and he's going to pick up about 9 yards. Nice run there for Jamison Williams on the quick motion handoff to make it 2nd down and 1. Jamison Williams, of course, trying to get him a little bit more involved. Had a really great game last week, over 100 yards, led the team with a touchdown. And early on in this game has that nice handoff run. Goff under center, David Montgomery in the backfield now. Snap, handoff goes to Demo, and he's going to pick up the 1st down and be brought down just shy of the 30-yard line at about the 27-yard line, I'd say. Lane Johnson for the Eagles is going back to the locker room. He is one of the captains on that offense and one of the best offensive linemen in the league. That is a huge development for an offense for Philadelphia that has already been struggling. We'll see what happens there. But now with 4.5 to go in the opening quarter, play action pass coming from Jared. Jared finds the open man. It is David Montgomery, and he is going to dive forward for a 1st down. Back-to-back 1st down plays for him. And Detroit moving down the field with a little bit of efficiency right now. There's John Morton in the box, the offensive coordinator. But Dan Campbell, primarily the play caller at this point. He's got the spectacles. It's a good look for Coach. 3:50 to go. Goff out of the shotgun. He's got David Montgomery to his right. I believe that's Gibbs out, lined up as a receiver as well. Goff throws it middle, caught. That is J-Mo, and he is brought down in Eagle territory. First catch of the night for him, and the Lions into Philadelphia territory. Broke free of his defender to gain a couple extra yards there. That's a nice play by Jamison Williams. I thought for sure that was Amon-Ra. That's a great throw, too, by Goff. I mean, you had a couple of DBs in the general vicinity of that play. It's really nice stuff. Ball is at the Eagle 46-yard line. A little weird formation. David Montgomery in a wild card is going to fake a handoff and run up the middle and pick up just 1 yard. Not really sure what that play was supposed to look like. But you had Jared Goff lined up as a running back, David Montgomery in the wild card, faked the handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs, and then just ran it up the middle for about a 1, maybe 2-yard gain. They're going to give him 2 yards. Okay, that's kind of odd. So Jared Goff now back lined up as the quarterback. Dave Montgomery still in. Brock Wright going in motion to the left side. Pass coming. Jared under some pressure. Now he's rolling. Now he throws. It is incomplete. Wanted Brock Wright. Threw it at his feet. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. And the Lions kind of in no man's land. It'd be pretty deep to try a field goal from this range if they don't get extra yards here. Obviously, a field goal would tie it up, but Jake Bates kicking in these conditions, that could be tough. And the Lions have struggled on 3rd downs all season long, notwithstanding last week's performance where they were excellent. The handoff goes to Montgomery, tries to cut to the outside, and he's just going to pick up a couple of yards. I don't really understand that play call, Coach. I guess maybe they want to just get a few extra yards. Maybe going to bring out Jake Bates here to try to tie this game up. Or maybe they're going for it on 4th down. I think that is what they're doing. Oh, boy, you got a injury to Tate Ratledge right now. Hopefully he's okay. An already ravaged offensive line. At the very least, Detroit will get a timeout to think about what they want to do here. Yeah, it is definitely way too early to be talking about 2027 for the Michigan State Spartan basketball program. Though I appreciate your enthusiasm. Thoughts on the game so far? Defense looking pretty good. Offense was showing some stuff there. Obviously, they looked like they might have gotten stopped here, but this feels like a low-scoring affair, Jimmy. And I knew going into this game it was going to be close. But I'm impressed with how the defense has looked. They've managed to hold Philadelphia to very little. Obviously, the only scoring drive Philly ended up having was due to that interception on a tip pass. But, it is what it is. You got to move on. You're lucky that happened early in the game because you're able to adjust. And hopefully, at the very least, we can tie this game up. I don't know if we're going to kick a field goal or go for it on 4th down and 6. Be pretty early to go for it, but at the same time, again, I made this point multiple times. If you can just punch in a couple of touchdowns on this defense, the Eagles' offense has struggled mightily. Think we can win it? Absolutely. It's certainly within reach. We just got to finish the job on offense. And this drive so far looked promising, but it's 4th down and 6. Hopefully Tate Ratledge is okay. Yeah, I don't get that. Unless the thought is you're just going to kick the field goal and you want to see if you can get a few extra yards for Bates. So depending on what they end up doing here, that will change my perspective on that play call, Detroit fan. Jonathan Smith, hey, relax. Does Jonathan Smith still have a job, by the way? Anyone know? How is he still employed? Like honestly. What's even worse is that even his wins that he had last year in the Big Ten technically got vacated. So he actually does not have a win against a Big Ten opponent, technically. I mean, I know that he does in reality. I did not. He said he needs another year. Yeah, you know what? You can have another year at another school. So Tate Ratledge apparently walked out. And the Lions are going for it on 4th down and 6. Cologne is out there to fill in for Ratledge. Oh, boy. Again, Lions in no man's land, so Campbell thinks they're better off going for it. Maybe that was part of the reason for that 3rd down call. 5 seconds on the play clock. Got to snap it. Goff with Montgomery to his right. Motion is Brock Wright, and a whistle being blown. And it is a delay of game penalty on Detroit. Now that will... Maybe was the idea that they were trying to get him to jump to make it 4th down and 1? I don't understand that, but I suppose in that, I guess, okay, maybe I kind of understand that because maybe it's 4th down and 1 versus if you get pushed back, you set your punter up a little bit better, but Yeah, that's an unfortunate way to end the drive. It'll be 4th down and 11 from the Detroit 40, or from the Eagles 45.5-yard line. Jack Fox will punt it. It is up and away, and it'll be waved out and fair caught at the 15-yard line. Well, I think the thought behind that is they wanted to move back a little bit so that they got Bates. They got Jack Fox in a range to where he can pin them fairly well, and I think that's probably the thought behind that. Now, when that wouldn't make sense is if you're like in your own territory or something. Then it's like, well, yeah, then you definitely call a timeout. Or if you're like near the goal line, and for whatever reason you're trying to get them to jump. But Philadelphia will take it out in the deepest field position I believe they've had all night. Their own 15. Handoff goes to Barkley. Barkley getting chased by Aiden Hutchinson from behind and finally brought down by Brian Branch. And they're going to say 4 yards on the carry. You know, I've noticed that the Sunday Night Football like first down and line of scrimmage marker is not there. I don't know if that's just my YouTube TV broadcast. I think it's like the NBC broadcast. Also, on that point, Detroit fan, we are a overtime drop away from being 2-8. So just keep that in mind. Double overtime drop, I should say. Another handoff goes to Barkley, and he is brought down for a massive loss by Jack Campbell. Jeez. It'll be 3rd down and long, and this Lions defense is coming to play. So they're actually going to call it 3rd down and 8. So not too long, but I believe that the Eagles are just going to let this run roll to the end of the quarter. So that will do it. After one, Eagles holding on to a 3-0 lead. They have the football with a 3rd down and 8. Lions moved the ball a little bit on their last drive, but came up with nothing. Might need to get some turnovers. That might be the difference maker right now. I mean, right now the turnovers are the difference maker. Eagles got the pick. That resulted in a field goal. They're up 3-0. You got nothing. But the way the offense looked that last drive, I'm feeling all right. And hopefully Tate Ratledge is okay. He can go back out there. You know, part of the reason for that 3rd down play maybe not working out is you had Cologne out there. Since 2023, the Lions defense has only scored 2 pick sixes. Huh. I mean, pick sixes are actually pretty rare. It's not that surprising. I know the one was the Kansas City game, and the other was the Kirby Joseph Jordan Love. Yeah, look at that. I got him perfectly right. I mean, to be fair, that's 2 in 3 years. That's pretty good. Like 2 pick sixes in 3 years, like that. It is a rare play. Like you're probably not gonna get multiple in one season, to be perfectly honest with you. Unless you got like Ed Reed out there. And as much as I think Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch are both very good football players, Ed Reed was Ed Reed, you know. Meanwhile, start of the 3rd period for the Wings, still tied up at 1. Just wanted to give an update on that. I'm not going to give play-by-play because play-by-play in hockey is impossible. Who is Rosalia? DJ Khaled? Oh, it's a coin making place, the Mint. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they had one in Philadelphia. I thought those were all in like DC. Maybe I don't know that much about this world, I guess. Jalen Hurts. It looks like there's something on the field there, like a napkin or something. 3rd down and 8. Hurts in the shotgun. He's going to throw. Hurts looking, throwing, caught, down, and I believe they're going to say incomplete. Devontae Smith was the intended receiver, and the Eagles will go 3 and out to start the second quarter. Yes, of course it's make or break for Stevie Y, Jimmy. If they don't make the playoffs this year, they have to fire him. I think they should have fired him after last year because of the way he handled that trade deadline and because of his team has just been awful for years. But yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, I don't know. If not every single Red Wing fan is on the page that he needs to be fired, then this fan base is like just completely lost its mind. Like go on the Red Wing subreddit, and it's like this fan base is completely delusional about Steve Yzerman. If you so much as suggest that he is not good at being a GM at all, like or like that he's got massive flaws that give you pause that things are going to go well, people will just talk about Ken Holland, bad draft lottery, things like they will never actually point out the obvious, which is that he has no idea how to construct a team. Anyway, or establish a culture. Anyway, 1st and 10 for the Lions, ball at their own 39-yard line. Gibbs in the backfield. Handoff goes to Gibbs, finds a decent chunk. He will pick up a few yards there to go to the 45-yard line. Gibbs tied for 4th in the NFL in touchdowns with 8. He's already got nearly 700 yards on the season, which is just crazy. Like crazy the year that he's having. In a way, kind of quietly. Another handoff to Gibbs. He cuts to the outside. He's going to pick up maybe 3. It'll be 3rd down and pretty short. Lions at about midfield here. No, yeah, these people are not serious. They're complete fanboys. I would have to assume that these people grew up actually watching him, and that's the only reason they can't let go of the fact that he's just not a good GM. But yeah, it's bad. 3rd down and 1. Goff takes a snap, hands it off to Gibbs, and he's not going to get there. He might have lost a yard, stopped at least at the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what the Lions do here on 4th down and probably 1 or 2 if they end up just punting it away. I got to imagine Lions are not going to do that, and that's exactly right. 4th down and 1, Lions are going for it. Goff under center. Snap. Another handoff to Gibbs, and he's going to be short. Turnover on downs gives the Eagles the ball in Lion territory. Just about a half a yard short. And the Eagles managed to get a big stop. That is just brutal. Oh, man. That's brutal. That is brutal. It's especially brutal because of the field position. Because now you got Philadelphia with a chance to, go up at least make it a 6-point lead. But man, this is just. I knew going into this game, this Eagles defense is going to be tough to beat. In my mind, though, I don't know why David Montgomery's not running on that down. Jahmyr Gibbs already had gotten stuff on the prior play. And to just basically run the same exact play too, I don't know. I just don't like that. All right, defense, you're going to be in a tough spot here. Not the toughest spot you've been in, but at least the second toughest. Okay. Huh. LaSalle. It's a local Philadelphia high school. I went to a De La Salle high school in Warren, Michigan. So that's interesting. Oh, LaSalle got the win too. So Imhotep. Interesting. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 13:02 to go in the half. Lions will get the ball to start the third quarter. They're down 3. It's 3-0. Lions have not really been able to move the football. They've got just one drive that ended up in Philly territory. And now Philadelphia, second drive of the night in Detroit territory. This one, they will start at the Lion 48. Hurts play action pass. Hurts looking, going deep, looking for a man, and it is way incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver. I don't know where in the world Jalen Hurts thought that football was supposed to be placed, but he had him missed by approximately 5 or 6 yards. So 2nd down and 10. Hurts, empty set. Pass coming. Once again, throwing up a prayer. It's incomplete. Threw it behind Dallas Goedert. Brian Branch in coverage. Not a great throw from Hurts. It's 3rd down and 10. Hurts is 3 for 10 tonight with just 21 yards. So this Eagle offense is struggling for sure. Lions defense, if they can get off the field here, force a punt, get back on offense. I mean, again, like I said, you just got to punch a few drives home here. This Eagle offense struggle is legitimate for sure. Eagles are 1 for 5 on 3rd down with an average of 8.4 to go. This is from 10 yards to go. Hurts throwing it. It is incomplete again. Wanted Devontae Smith. Amik Robertson was in coverage, and the Eagles go 3 and out on 3 straight incompletions from Jalen Hurts. Lions defense came to play. The question is, did the offense come to play? Some Eagles fans wanted a penalty. That's just good coverage from Robertson. He's behind him. He's not really pulling at him. And the ball was not a great throw either. Braden Mann with his 4th punt of the night, they just said on the broadcast. Punt is up and away. He's certainly getting a workout. And it'll be fair caught. Whoa. Khalif Raymond had to dive forward for it at about the 21-yard line. There is a flag down. Let's see what the flag is. It looks like it's going to be a face mask on the Eagles. Personal foul face mask. And that will give the Lions some extra 15 yards there. Pretty much put them right back where they started. Boy, the wind. So Trotter Jr., that's the second penalty on him on special teams tonight. That's an extra 15 yards for Detroit on the fair catch from Khalif Raymond. Meanwhile, Wings still tied up, but they're in a power play, 1-1 with the Rangers. Oh my goodness. So here's the drives for Detroit. Interception, punt, turnover on downs. Their best drive was the 48-yard drive before turning over on downs. Prior to that, they had a negative 6-yard drive and a 12-yard drive. Handoff goes to David Montgomery. He's going to cut to the outside, finds a decent chunk there for about 3, maybe 4 yards. Lucky that play didn't get blown up there. David Montgomery so far tonight, the leading rusher for Detroit. Maybe it might be a Montgomery game. The run was originally not going that way, and he decided, I'm going to go the opposite direction. And he made the right decision. Lions with 3.7 yards per play tonight. You would think that they would be getting destroyed, but the Eagles with less than that. Goff with a screen pass out to Brock Wright that'll pick up some extra yards, but not enough for the first down. And once again, Detroit in a third down and short territory. And again, Lions struggle on these third downs, even though this is a very manageable 3rd down and 2. Lions very close to midfield. 11.5 to go in the quarter. Pass coming from Goff. Goff looking, throwing, middle, dropped. Amon-Ra St. Brown wide open, and he did not come up with the catch. You have to catch that football. Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. Perfectly open, not a bad throw, a little bit behind Saint, but he slips on the turf, and the Eagle defense forces a 3-9. The Lions fake it, and they don't get it. They fake the direct snap to Grant Stewart, and the Eagles have it. Lions are known to have those fake punts work, but that time it did not. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was no shot of that working out. No shot in the world. Eagles up 3-0, and they're going to be in their best field position since, I guess, the goal line drive. Oh my gosh. Saints got to catch that football though. He slips on the turf, so it's not any one player's fault there, but wide open, got to convert on that. That is so darn frustrating. And then to fake the punt, your defense has been playing well, so maybe that's the thought process is, maybe you just want to try to keep your offense out on the field position. I don't know. If you were planning on going for it, I guess maybe they just, I get it. This is what they've done this before. They've had some success. I don't know. It obviously didn't work, but if it would have worked, people would have called it genius. So I can't, not gonna totally disparage that, but it wasn't. I don't know. I think probably it's the better call to just punt it there because your defense has been playing well, to just keep Philadelphia pinned and not in any sort of field goal range to extend their lead. But man, You definitely got to keep this a one-possession game if you're going to start. Well, not if you're going. You will start with the football in the third quarter. So you got to keep this 3-0 lead or a 6-0 lead at most. That looked like the stupid part of this Wicked commercial. It was just a scene where Ariana Grande's got her stupid little witch thing or wand and just like looked to whack at the green lady. And I don't know if that was supposed to be like a serious thing, but it looked very goofy. Red Wings, by the way, have almost 20 more shots than the Rangers, and they're still tied with almost 6 minutes to go in the third period. Oh, next week. Buccaneers, Rams on Sunday Night Football. That could be a real good game. So Philadelphia taking over in Detroit territory, second time tonight. Saquon with a spin move, finally brought down after a gain of 8 or 9, second down. Barkley, 7 carries for 25 yards tonight. That one he had for 8. Handoff goes to Barkley, and he will pick up the first down, but not much more. 10.5 to go in the half. Okay, Melissa Stark is not going to be reporting. That was very awkward. That was a very awkward sequence on the broadcast. Jalen Hurts out of the shotgun. Pass coming. Hurts throws. It is tipped and nearly intercepted. Oh boy, that was in the range of Brian Branch. Oh man. Talk about a swing of momentum in favor of Detroit. Jeez. Last year, Barkley had 125 rushing yards per game. That's the craziest stat I've ever heard. Second down and 10 for Philadelphia. Smith going in motion to the left side. Play action throw is caught, immediately brought down there by Amik Robertson was A.J. Brown. It's going to be a loss of maybe a yard or two. It'll be third down and long. That's a great move. Great move by Amik Robertson. I always sing his praises, that's for sure. It's third down and 11. This is a huge third down for Detroit. Again, given the weather conditions, field goal might be more difficult to come by as Hurts is going to run with it, and Hurts is going to somehow stay on his feet. What? They're going to give him the first down. Are they sure he wasn't down? A design run from Hurts picks up the third down and 11. Oh my gosh, he totally surfed. And no, his knee's down right there. Hold on, they're going to look at this. So it is still a first down, but he is shorter than he actually was, and then where they put him at. That was a 12-yard gain. Oh my gosh, that is so dang frustrating. On a third down and 11 to let a quarterback scramble and pick it up like that, you just gotta be better. Can't let that kind of a play happen. It's first down and 10, 8:25 to go. Eagles 1 yard shy of the red zone. Handoff goes to Barkley, and he will get them into the red zone by a couple of yards there. Second down. Final 8 minutes of the quarter, and unfortunately, the Lion offense has just not been able to stay on the field for any significant amount of time. But the Eagle offense has not been able to get home just yet, although this drive looks pretty promising for them. Second down and 7. Pass coming. Quick screen, and Barkley is going to be brought down for a massive loss. Alex Anzalone makes a huge play. It'll be third down and 1,000,000. That is a huge play to put them all the way out of the red zone. And again, in this weather, putting them further back from field goal range could be a factor. I think the moment Anzalone made physical contact with Barkley, he knew he was not coming back. So it's third down and 15. Now you got to get the stop. Ball is at the Detroit 26-yard line. Pass coming. Hurts looking, quickly throwing. It is caught. He's going to be short. Down to the 16-yard line. And the field goal unit is likely coming out here. Maybe not. 6.5 to go in the half. And on fourth down and 5, they're going for it. See if maybe they're just going to try to get the Detroit defense to jump. Oh, I think there was movement. No. 3-2, whistle blown, timeout called by Philadelphia. So I believe the plan was just to see if they would jump, and I believe now they will get the field goal unit out here, try to make it a 6-0 lead. Who is Gigi Hadid? Mike Trout? He's an Eagle fan? I thought Pete Davidson was from New York. He's an Eagle fan? Wasn't his dad like a firefighter on 9/11? Isn't that like a part of his whole bit? One of the strangest looking people ever. I don't want to disrespect. His dad died at a very young age, but still. 34-yard field goal attempt. This is the deepest one tonight. Snap, hold, kick is up, and he got it. So the Eagles extend their lead to 6. It is 6-0 Philly with 6:02 to go in the quarter. All right. I said, worst case scenario, you give up a field goal there, or best case scenario, you just, I suppose best case scenario is you give up no points, but most realistic scenario is you get just a field goal. Oh, and the Red Wings just took the lead. It is 2-1 Detroit. I believe that was Lucas Raymond who scored it. Yes, it was. Oh, look at that. A little wraparound razzle-dazzle by Lucas Raymond. So 2-1 Red Wings late in the third period against the Rangers. So 3:45 to go in the third period. Wings up 2-1. Raymond's on a 4-game point streak. The yellow brick road. Okay. I mean, again, it's still just a one-possession game. Like, can the offense just please get something going? Neither offenses are really getting anything going. We're just, unfortunately, they've just managed to take advantage of two solid field position situations. It's going to be neither team can march down the field. I'm convinced of that. And I don't know how if the wind has seemed to subside because it not affecting field goal kicks right now. What I would love here is if we could get a double dip. If this would be a final drive of the half. We could just march down the field. Again, that's a tall task given the way the offense has been playing. March down the field. Let this be the final drive of the quarter. Get the ball back in the third, and then add on with a field goal or a touchdown of our own. That would be most ideal. That's crazy. Cooper DeJean and Saquon Barkley doing an alley-oop. These athletes are just unreal. And it looks like Mann is going to have to hold the kickoff. And as I was saying, the wind not having an effect, it is immediately having an effect on this kickoff. So that will end up in the hands at the 5. Now past the 25, Khalif Raymond to the 26-yard line. Once again, the Eagles special teams doing a pretty good job of limiting big returns. Goff will go under center. Gibbs is in the backfield. Raymond going in motion. There's the snap. Play action pass. Goff. Throw is tipped and incomplete. Second tip pass. Wanted to quickly get rid of it, and lucky for him, it's just an incompletion. Oh, man. Not how you want to start a drive, that's for sure. Jalen Phillips tonight with 1 pressure. Last week, he had 8 total pressures, a career high against Green Bay in that win in Lambeau for Philadelphia. 2nd and 10. Play action pass once again from Goff. He's going to lob it up to Amon-Ra St. Brown for a big gain. St. Brown gets out of the Philadelphia 40, and that is a big play for Detroit. Been waiting for that all night, and Amon-Ra, with his first catch of the night, he's now the leading receiver for the Lions. 42 yards for St. Brown. I don't know how they let this guy get that wide open, but every team does it, even the good defenses like this Philly team. And good on Jared Goff to get to St. Brown. He had that rough drop a couple of drives ago. Second catch of the night, I should say, for St. Brown. Quick play action pass once again from Goff. It's caught by J-Mo. There he goes past the 10. 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. What a play. Jamison Williams ties the game up at 6. 74 yards and just 2 plays. There was a flag after the play. I think J-Mo slam dunked that football. Let's see. Did he slam it? Oh, he jumped on he didn't slam it. He just jumped on the upright. And they're going to call the unsportsmanlike conduct on Jamison Williams. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the extra point. Now, if they make this, no harm, no foul. But if you miss this because of the wind and getting pushed back, that, don't do that. I know you just tied the game up either way, but you set your special teams up for not a great position here to be back an extra 15 yards to take the lead here with 5:05 to go. Snap, hold, kick is up, and he missed it! He missed the extra point. And that penalty from J-Mo, that more than likely is the reason why he misses that extra point. That is just brutal. Missed it wide to the right. Did not quite get enough of it to the left side. So the game is tied still, so you'll take it, but that is a very stupid penalty to take for Williams, and I think he knows it as much as anybody, but you just can't have that. You just can't. You have a chance to take the lead here late in the second quarter. You know you're going to get the ball back in the third. You can't put your kicker in a bad spot on a windy night on a primetime game. And Amon Ra's talking to him. I'm sure they're talking through this. That's just not the penalty you can have in that spot. And I hope that it does not matter by the end of this game. But anytime you have a missed extra point in this sport, it almost certainly has an effect in my experience. Now, we'll hope that it doesn't, just given the way the Lions defense has been playing. But that's a very, very bad penalty and incredibly aggravating to see from Jamison Williams. The kickoff is taken out to about the 31-yard line. And a little bit of extra pushing there. And no flag. They let him handle that. The Rangers have an empty net right now. 49.8 to go. Red Wings up 2-1, by the way. So let's see if this Lions defense can get off the field quick here. Get the offense back out there. The passing game was showing a little bit of life there. Once again, this is not an easy defense to go back-to-back scoring drives on. Hurts by himself in the backfield. Pass coming. Hurts gets rid of it. It is caught for about a 9-yard gain. A.J. Brown makes it 2nd down and 1. Ball is now at the Detroit 45-yard line. Four and a half minutes. Pass coming. Hurts under some pressure. Pass was caught for a 1st down. Brian Branch made the tackle. Surprised there wasn't. It looked like there was maybe a low block there on the far right side edge. So it's still ball in their own territory, the 49-yard line, to be exact. Handoff goes to Saquon, and he will ride a Lion or two for a gain of about 5. And the defense needs to step up here. Offense just gave you a tie game. Last thing you want to do is just give it away, especially after a pretty decent return there from Philly on the kickoff. 2nd down and 5. Pass coming from Hurts. Hurts throws it. It is caught wide open. Was Jahad Dotson. Another 1st down, and the Eagles are marching down the field right now. And the Red Wings do win, 2-1. I can have that turned off. And the ball is dropped, and Saquon luckily fell on it. Bad handoff, but that's a loss of a few yards. Oh, man. Let's talk about a swing of momentum. This is a bad handoff. Looked like Barkley kind of like punched that ball out. So it'll be second down and long, and they will have to run at least one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Second down and 13. Barkley was taken out there on that play. They got the backup running back in. Tank Bigsby on the handoff. He's got room. Bigsby with a big run, and Bigsby picks up the first down and then some. Comes in off the bench and gets a 14-yard carry. You got to be kidding me. And that will take it to the 2-minute warning. 6-all, but the Eagles trying to reclaim the lead. Tank Bigsby comes in and runs like that, man. That's frustrating. Black Ops 7? What? There's been 7 Black Ops? What? Hold on. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Wow. Wow. That is a crazy, crazy thing. Also, this is way behind. I don't know if I need to refresh it or what's going on. Okay. Now it appears to be more accurate. On Prime. This Thursday night football game actually could be kind of interesting. I mean, Texans-Bills. It's a really good Texans defense, really good Bills offense. I don't know. It's interesting. Oh my gosh. Can we please just finish this half? Because I really got to go pee. That's the most important thing. I really got to go to the bathroom. Like, really bad. And so the longer this lasts, the more difficult this is. Red Wings win. Yay. Yes. It's 2 in a row for the Wings, which is good. Or not 2 in a row. I'm sorry. They split the weekend. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 is pretty good. First down and 10. 2 minutes to go in the half. Eagles and Lions tied up at 6. Handoff once again to Tank Bigsby. And I guess you would have thought that Tank Bigsby and Saquon Barkley did a little bit of like a fusion dance or something, because he had nice back-to-back runs there, and now Saquon Barkley coming back in. It'll be second down and 3. Final minute and a half to go here. Eagles well within field goal range, but obviously they want a lot more than that. And again, they just don't have the first down marker for the broadcast. Fakes the toss. Hurts' throw is caught for a first down to the 5. A.J. Brown. And now it is first and goal for the Eagles. 5 yards to the end zone. And I just said, your offense just gave you a tie game. Last thing you want to do is completely swing the momentum right back in favor of Philly. Lions are going to get the ball to start the third quarter. But obviously, you'd much rather a tie game. And they're going to hand it off to Barkley, and Barkley is going to dive, and he's in for the touchdown. Saquon Barkley gets the first touchdown of the night for the Eagles, and they reclaim the lead. It's 12-6. Somehow stays up. Oh. I don't think he was down. I don't know. Let's see. Oh. Looks like there's a little bit of a shadow. Of course, I got to go to commercial break for this nonsense. Why couldn't they just have scored in an obvious play? Now I got to wait even longer to go to the bathroom. And now it's still just like, I guess they're reviewing it, but still. Like this, why is the ESPN game tracker just so behind? Okay. I don't know, guys. And for whatever reason, once again, we're seeing Michigan State getting burned highlights. I don't know why ESPN does this. Like, it just seems very cruel. They were doing Red Wings highlights last week. Oh my gosh. How long does it take to review? He's either in or he's not. Or his shin is either down or it's not. It didn't look like there was anything that was that, overly clear to overturn it. So, what is this? Bel Air? Like the Prince? Oh! They say he was short. So it's a 10-second runoff. 22 seconds to go. So they're down at the half-yard line. And what do you think they're going to run? What play do you think they're going to run? Detroit loading the box. Eagles loading the box. There's the touchdown. There it is. So what was the point of that? I guess to make it better for Philly, they just burned more time. So they don't give Detroit a chance to, have 30 seconds with all three timeouts to maybe get into field goal range or something. So now here comes the also important extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and that extra point attempt is good. So 13-6. Eagles over the Lions with 16 seconds to go in the second quarter. They will get the ball to start the third quarter, which is probably the only solace of dropping the tie there. And we'll see what Detroit ends up doing here on this particular kickoff. So there is the kickoff, and that will go all the way to the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jeez. That kick was just a bomb. So the Lions offense is out there. They got all 3 timeouts with 16 seconds, and they're not going to go for much here because they know they'll get the ball back anyhow. Jared Goff takes the knee, and they will head to the locker room. So at the half, Eagles holding on to a 7-point lead. It is 13-6. A struggling Lions offense failed to convert on too many tries offensively, and turnover, I should say, plus the turnover on downs, if you call it that. All right. Dan likes where we're going right now, but the ESPN analytics say we got just a 27% chance of winning this game. Okay. All right. I am going to the bathroom. I have to pee so bad. All right. I'll be. All right. I mean, you're in a one possession game at the half. Not crazy. Could definitely come back here, but that's obviously would rather be up 13-6 than down 13-6. But if you can get back out on the field third quarter, drive down the field, tie this game up, JMO, don't jump on the freaking upright. That missed extra point, man. I really hope that it doesn't matter at the end of this game and we win by more than one. Or I guess, yeah. I guess if we win anyway, it won't matter. Just whatever. But if we lose this game by one, that would be incredibly frustrating, for sure. Ah, man. And I didn't like how the defense looked in that drive or in that half. I didn't like it. I don't like it. Okay. I'm allowed to not like things. All right. That's fine. It's legal. It's a free country. They look good overall, but that final drive, that was not great. Now I got the agony of. I guess every time I hear Patrick Mahomes speak, I hear his voice is just terrible. He can't help it. It's not his fault. I'm sure he's perfectly a nice guy, but his voice just. What is going on in the background of this? What is this, a marching band? Whose marching band is this? I know the Ravens have a marching band. Is this like a high school or maybe like a college? Okay, I guess they're done. No, they're walking off. Maybe it's a high school. They got red flags. I can't really tell. Maybe. Is it high school? I don't know. I can't tell. I couldn't get a good look at any of the human beings on that marching band. Dang, man. Broncos got the best record in the NFL, or at least tied for it, 9-2. This is the weirdest NFL season ever, man. I'm not convinced that either of the teams with the two top records are the top teams. One score games. Mahomes and the Chiefs last year were 12-0, including the playoffs. This season, 0-5. Now, neither of those are sustainable. Neither of those are long lasting. Chiefs off to worst 10-game start since 2015. It has been a decade since KC has started 5-5. That is crazy. Favorite Detroit Lions memory? Probably making the NFC Championship game. I know a lot of people have that first playoff win as their favorite. That's another favorite for sure. But like making the NFC Championship game, that was just a magical time to be a Lions fan. Like it was like you already got the no playoff wins since '91. You already got that monkey off your back. You're back in Detroit. You got the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay, a team that you had already played earlier in the year, and you played pretty close. And you're like, okay, they're thinking about revenge. Oh boy, Aaron Rodgers apparently left the game with a wrist injury. Well, they ended up winning, but yeah, I'd say probably the whole 23 season was overall. The last year was last year was fun until it really wasn't. It was fun until that final game, and I'll tell you, that was like the most upset I've been at sports in a very long time. I think because it's not just like I didn't expect us to win the Super Bowl, really, just because the injuries were so huge. Eventually it's probably going to come back to bite you. But I guess I just didn't want the magic to end, and to have it end at home. Like I would have taken, I guess we would have been at home anyway with the number 1 seed. I guess I would have taken losing in the NFC Championship game, as awful as that would feel, as terrible as that would be. I mean, obviously the only thing I would really take is winning the Super Bowl, but losing to Washington, losing to the Commanders last year, that was terrible. Wicked week. Oh my gosh. What? The Madden cast? Okay, but like this angle is not how Madden is played. It's like, who creates these alternate broadcasts? Like, you can't, don't. Okay, let me compose myself. If you're going to do a Madden cast, perfectly fine. You need to have the camera angle be the proper one. When you play Madden, it's the, camera behind the offense, right? And then it moves with the football from there. And because it's on a delay, right? These alternate casts, these like with these weird, live effects, because it's on a delay, you can it's so much easier to operate. It's like, oh, okay, we'll delay it by 5 seconds. Now, why anyone would want to watch that, I don't know. But that's the other thing. I just don't know who's watching these alternate broadcasts. Bring back the Nickelodeon. No, that was a good broadcast. No, that was good. At least that's like the same game. Like it's the same view, but it's just got weird graphics going on with it. That was good. But the Madden, why would you? It's just you're watching the broadcast on a delay. Like the Nickelodeon, I don't think there was any delay on that. It was just like a filter, basically. Now I'm trying to think of what alternate broadcast would I actually watch? I've watched the Amazon analytic one a couple times. It's pretty cool. Like it's useful for knowing who has the football, like who caught it, defensive players to look out for, but I don't know. I still would rather most of the time just watch the regular broadcast. I just wonder the especially the reaction ones. The Manning cast, I think, had its prime in the first year they did it. Ever since then, meh, it's fine. I'm not going to it over the regular broadcast. Skycam view and no announcers. Ooh, I mean, there is the all 22 angle. People like that. People like the all 22 view. Which I don't, I'm not much of a analytics guy or a tape guy, but it can be interesting to watch. If I want to see a particular play and it's got a bunch of different angles and stuff, that's fine. But watch it, I don't think I could watch a whole broadcast that was the all 22. It might, I guess that's what you do when you go to a game, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. Already exhausted. I know if the Lions win this game, I'm going to be up until 1 in the morning, guys. I'm just letting you know. Maybe not 1 in the morning. Certainly to midnight, I'd be up. Because the game will probably end around 11:30. Right? Roughly. The NFL has donated more than $75 million to charities. Good for them. Good for the NFL. All right. Day for Sunday night. Ugh. All right. Lions will start with the football. Got to answer here. As far as I'm concerned, you get yourself right back into a tie game. You want to get that swing of momentum right back to you. Jared Goff, 7 for 12, 119 yards. Obviously, the -1 rushing yards. Obviously, not ideal. Lions not been able to run the football. But Jared Goff has been the best offensive player, really, for either team. So you got A.J. Brown with 43 yards as well, but that's less than Jameson Williams. Just one pressure tonight for Aiden Hutchinson as well. All right. And here we go. Second half is underway. And that will go all the way to the back of the end zone for a touchback. Gosh, I just, every time I look at Nick Sirianni's face, I get angry on the inside. He's just got his face. It's just, I look at his face. I don't like his face. He's got to fix his face. Get a better face. Go to the face store. Figure it out. All right. So Lane Johnson is out with a foot injury. That's a massive part of that offensive line. Goff going to throw it on first down. Quick screen out to Gibbs with a lot of room to run. There goes Gibbs for a first down catch and run. No, I'm happy that Aiden got paid. I think he's shown me enough. He's one of the top defensive edges, DNs in the league. Yeah, he deserved to get paid. He's a very good football player. He's a hometown guy. He took a hometown discount, literally. So, yeah, no, I have no problem with him getting paid. Lions into Eagle territory at the 48-yard line. Play action pass coming from Jared. Quick screen out to Jahmyr Gibbs again. Gibbs trying to dodge some tacklers. He's going to pick up the first down. Back-to-back first down catch and runs for Jahmyr. Lions offense moving down with some efficiency. $14 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lions already into Eagle territory. Goff out of the shotgun with Gibbs to his right. Brock Wright goes in motion. Handoff goes to Gibbs to that side, and it's only going to be maybe a 1-yard carry for Gibbs. It'll be second down. Second down and 9. Now Gibbs to Goff's left. St. Brown just went in motion to the right side. Now Brock Wright going in motion to the right side. Pass coming. Passes to Brock Wright. And Brock Wright stays in bounds to pick up maybe 5. It'll be third down and fairly manageable. First third down of this drive. And I got to think it's 4 down territory in Dan Campbell's mind, barring a massive loss here. Third down and 5. Got to get to just about the 27.5-yard line. Pass coming. Jared looking, throwing. It is dropped. Amon-Ra St. Brown diving for it. Couldn't quite come up with it. Fourth down and 5. And what do you think Dan Campbell's going to do here? I already alluded to it. And they're going for it. They're 0 for, I guess, 2 because they had the fake punt. It was not a bad throw, but just couldn't quite get to it, St. Brown. Yeah, they're calling it 0 for 2 on fourth down because of the fake punt. 3 on the play clock. Got to snap it. Get it off. Here comes the pass. Goff looking, throwing, middle. It is dropped. Jamison Williams, the intended receiver. No flags, and the Lions go turnover on downs. 3rd time tonight. That's a catch you got to make. I mean, it's a little bit low, but that's, you're open. You got to make that catch. Receivers dropping the ball has been the story of tonight's game. Man, that's... Can't have that. Can't have that. Two drop passes that would have been first downs in the red zone. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? It's not... I'm not blaming Jared Goff on that. I'll tell you that much. Those are two fairly well-placed passes. Both St. Brown and J-Mo perfectly capable of catching those, and they just didn't do it. That drive started so promising with nice plays from Jahmyr Gibbs. No, I don't want to. Thank you. Don't want to see the stupid Michigan State play again. Gosh, this has just been brutal. I knew it would be a close game. I knew it all day, but last thing I want is for Philadelphia to start to pull away here as we were in a position to get back into it. All right. Eagles get the ball at their own 32-yard line. Handoff goes to Saquon, who will pick up about 3, maybe 4. Tyleik Williams was in there to make the tackle. "12 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 6. And I hate when you start with the football that you don't start with the football in the third quarter. I just hate not getting anything out of that. It's just brutal. Handoff to Barkley once again, and he will be brought down just a little bit short. It'll be 3rd down and 1. 11 and a half to go. It's 3rd down and 1, and what do you think the Eagles are going to do? They're in formation. Oh, boy. There was a jump there. Flag comes in, and I believe they're going to call a false start on Philly. And there is a false start on Philadelphia. That's a big penalty. And Steen, number 56. Let's see. Yeah, he definitely moves. Yeah, he moves his right hand there. Oh, for sure. He goes in. I think that is the right call. You can't touch the defender. And they're saying it should have been a neutral zone. I mean, you can't go in and poke at the defender before you snap the ball. They're down in 5. Hurts has time. Now he gets rid of it. A little wobbly on the throw. It is incomplete. Alex Anzalone in coverage. Granson was the intended receiver, and the Eagles come up with nothing. That's a huge stop for the defense. Huge stop. Aiden Hutchinson nearly got to him. I wouldn't have been surprised if there wasn't a holding call there. Great coverage there by Anzo, though. 4th down and 5. Punt coming from Philly. And a whistle being blown. And they're going to take a delay of game here. Was that intentional? What? I think the idea there was they were trying to get the Lions to jump off sides because it was just a 5-yard. But I also don't really understand. Your punter's been doing a pretty good job. So why would you want him to be pinned even deeper? Well, there's the punt. That is going to go out to the 27-yard line of Detroit. 13-6 Eagles. Lions defense comes up with a stop. Eagles defense comes up with a stop. Then the Lions defense comes up with a stop. That is a lot of Christmas decorations. I still am like, I hate that all the Christmas commercials this early. Also, this Coca-Cola commercial made entirely by AI. They did this last year and they're doing it again. It looks as bad as it did last year. The entire thing, I think even the song is made by AI. You know when we're really going to be cooked as a society? When we get our first fully AI commercial, but with human beings in it. We already have that with YouTube ads, as you've probably seen on your particular YouTube feed, because I get those stupid Kashi ads that are almost like they are AI. I don't even want to say almost certainly. They are for sure AI. But I think there's a few others that are AI. I mean, some of those like fake products, like there was one that was like a stuffed panda that like interacted with you. It's like, this is how I kind of want to see what happens if I do pay for this and what comes in the mail, if anything. It's like I would like to just like pay with like a check or something, like some like non-traceable. Actually, that might be worse. I don't know. What would be, can I mail cash? Oh my gosh. Okay. Offense back out there. Had a promising first drive. Ended up as a turnover on downs due to some drop catches. Hey, Sewell had his foot taped up there. Goff under center. There's your snap. Handoff goes to David Montgomery, and he will carry couple defenders for about a 6 or 7 yard gain, second down. Final 10 minutes of this quarter. Lions down 7. Still in range to get themselves back in this game. Quick snap and a pass over to Gibbs, and Gibbs got space. Past the 50, now past the 40. There goes Gibbs, all the way to the 25, and finally brought down Jahmyr Gibbs. What a run! That is a huge play. And the Lions right back into Philadelphia territory. A quick screen, a great block there by Penei Sewell, and the ability to stop on a dime and just cut to the inside like that. There are very few players in the NFL that can do it, and he is one of them. 83 total yards on the night for Gibbs. Brock Wright goes in motion. Handoff goes to Gibbs, and he will get about a 2-yard gain on the run. That is, man, that's a huge play. Huge play. Lions are pretty, I think they're maybe a yard or two short of the red zone. Maybe they're in it. They might actually be in it. No, because well, we'll see. No, they're not in it yet, just yet. First down would be at about the 16 or the 15.5-yard line. Handoff goes to Gibbs, and that will put them in the red zone, but short of the first down marker. It'll be third down. And we'll see what the play call is going to be here on a third down and 4. Lions have not converted a fourth down all night. But you think, obviously, given the state of this game, they're going to go for it either way. Lions just averaging less than 3 yards per carry. Goff's going to hand it off to Gibbs, and he's going to pick up the first down and then some inside the 10. That's a gutsy play call for Dan Campbell and this offense that has struggled to run the football, to trust his running back to pick up the yards he needs. It's first and goal, Detroit, with a touchdown and a successful PAT away from tying this game up. Pass coming. Goff throws to Jamison Williams, who is brought down at maybe the 6-yard line. Just a short gain. He's already got the lone touchdown of the night. Had a pretty good night so far, barring that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which has made this a 7-point game as opposed to what could have been a 6-point game. Almost a 4-minute drive for Detroit, the longest drive of the night for this Lions offense. Goff going to hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs finding a hole, breaking free. Oh, and he falls to the ground. He's only going to pick up 1. Oh, man. He stayed on his feet for a second there. And I thought maybe he could pick up a few extra yards. He's only going to get 1. It'll be third down and goal inside the 5. Dang, if he stays up, he had a very clear lane there to the end zone. So now, third down and goal. Lions are 1 for 6 on third downs tonight with an average of 6 yards to go. This is from 4. Brock Wright goes in motion. Handoff goes to Gibbs, and he is going to get stuffed at the line. What in the world? And the Lions are, I'm assuming, going to go for this on fourth down. I don't like that play call at all. Especially, you've just already run it a couple of times in a row to that point. You know, why not just maybe a play action pass or a quick screen. Lions 0 for 3 on fourth downs. This is huge. Gotta convert this. St. Brown goes in motion. Pass coming. Goff looking, throwing, end zone, incomplete. St. Brown, the intended receiver, and the Lions completely fail on fourth down again. Oh my gosh. Why aren't you throwing to Brock Wright? Brock Wright's wide open. He was wide open there. You throw to him and he catches it. He's got it in. I don't know if he was intending for Brock Wright or he overthrew. I don't know what in the world happened there. But my goodness, on third down and goal from the 4, you got to throw the football when you haven't been able to run all night. That's the second drive tonight in just this third quarter alone that we come up with nothing when we should have at least gotten 3. Well, you put the Eagles in a very tough field position. That's the only solace you got right now. You had to get a sack, so I would say a safety's on the board, but haven't been able to get to the quarterback. Gosh, man. To get all the way to the 5 or inside the 5-yard line and to get nothing. That is just so frustrating. This really does feel like the difference in the game is the trenches. The Eagles' defensive line is right now just better than the Detroit Lions' offensive line. It's not able to run the football. And I just don't know why we're not just throwing it a little bit more than we are. Maybe, I mean, that drive, the most success we had were on those throws because the Eagles' secondary is seemingly not able to stop some of those screens, some of those quick out routes where Goff gets rid of the football quickly. But man, I know you got time left in this game to get back into it, but you've had so many missed opportunities. First and 10 for the Eagles. Ball is inside their own 5. Hurts is going to take the snap from his own end zone. Pass coming. Hurts lobs up a prayer. It is incomplete. Well overthrown to A.J. Brown. It is second down and 10. Right there to Brock Wright, though. Right there. He's got so much separation. And Goff kind of got twisted up there. I'm surprised it wasn't a penalty, but that's just how it's been all night. Second and 10. 5:05 to go in the third. Pass coming. Hurts under pressure. Now Hurts is running. Hurts will throw it, and he's got a man open. It's caught. A big hit. A flag comes in late. Brian Branch made the tackle, and he is hurt, and they're going to call a penalty on him, I assume. But he is hurt on the play. Man, I'm sorry. Is that really? That's a penalty? Yeah, I mean, he top of his helmet hits the face mask part of Branch or of Dotson. Unnecessary roughness called against Brian Branch, who, mind you, is hurt on the play. And that to me is what is so delicious in a way about that kind of a penalty. The player who is called for unnecessary roughness is hurt. Do we not see the irony in that? The guy who was the victim of unnecessary roughness, Jahad Dotson, appears to be perfectly fine. And it was on a broken play, too. Brian Branch appears to be okay, but he obviously does not agree with the penalty. Avonte Maddox is in for him for at least the play, as the Eagles are into Lion territory for the first time this half. Quick toss over to Barkley. Barkley finally able to cut outside, and he makes something out of nothing. There was 3 Lions defenders in front of him, and he managed to make a play. Second down and 4. Thank you, Dennis. I'm glad you feel something. And a weird play action that does not work out, and Jalen Hurts going to be sacked all the way back in his own territory. Roy Lopez and Aiden Hutchinson all in there. I don't know what was going on. A kind of play action that just got totally biffed. It looked like there was just too many bodies involved there, and the Eagles offense all the way back to their own territory. It'll be 3rd down and long. I don't know. I believe Aiden Hutchinson's going to be somewhat maybe credited for that, but Roy Lopez was really in there. And it is 3rd down and 15. Just the first sack of the night for Detroit. Got to come up with a stop here now. Pass coming. Hurts. Going to air it out. Going deep. And nobody home. Incomplete. A.J. Brown, I assume, was the intended receiver, but it is another 4th down for the Eagles. 3:09 to go in the quarter, and the Lions offense is going to get its 3rd shot this quarter to try to tie this game up. You got to give credit to the Lions defense. They have shut down Philadelphia pretty much all night. It's just that the offense has not been able to take advantage at all. Khalif Raymond going to take it out from his own 10, breaking first contact, and he will get to the 15-yard line. So at least somewhat positive return. 13-6 Philadelphia, 2:57 to go in the 3rd. Okay. All right. Can we please just get a touchdown? It's like the tension, it needs to be relieved. I need this team to get into the end zone, at least tie it up. Like, goodness gracious. You're just losing. It just becomes a numbers game at a certain point. Like, oh, is this a new backup? Tyler Huntley. That's another backup quarterback. They've already done Teddy Bridgewater. I'm trying to think of some other good. Have they done Marcus Mariota yet? That'd be a good one. Think of some other famous backup quarterbacks currently in the league or otherwise. They do one with Gardner Minshew. That'd be a good one. could do one with, I guess, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco could be one at this stage in his career. Jared Goff's one completion under pressure was the touchdown. Now, to be fair, a couple of those under pressures are drops by his receiver. So, like, what is the guy supposed to do? He should have seen Brock Wright there. Brock Wright is the guy to throw the ball to on that 4th and goal. But you can't, there's nothing you can do about it now. You got a whole rest of this 3rd quarter and 4th quarter to make up for it. Goff is under centered. Montgomery is in the backfield. Play action, immediate pressure on Goff. He gets rid of it, and it is incomplete to St. Brown. Quinyon Mitchell was in coverage, couldn't quite connect with his wide receiver 1. Mitchell has not allowed a touchdown all year. That's crazy. Pass coming from Jared. Jared gets rid of it. It is tipped and... No, they're going to say incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Blankenship. Tesla was the intended receiver. It is 3rd down and 10. Obviously, Detroit not in range to be going for it at this point. Need to get to the 25-yard line. They're at the 15. Jared looking to throw. Quick screen out to Gibbs. Gibbs got blockers up front. He's going to get the 1st down and then some. There goes Gibbs past the 40 and still on his feet past the 45. That's a huge play by Jahmyr Gibbs. Woo! Needed a conversion on a 3rd and 10. And who would have thought that the screen pass to Jahmyr Gibbs was what that was going to turn into? But great blocking up front by, I believe that was Coyote Awashika. And, of course, great running by Jahmyr Gibbs to keep this drive alive. Gibbs with 107 yards on 5 catches. Toss to Montgomery. Montgomery finds a hole. He's going to pick up about 7 on the run. Gibbs right now is the leading rusher and leading receiver tonight. He is basically the best part of this offense outside of Jared Goff. 2nd down and 3. Final minute and 37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Boy, the Lions would love to score a touchdown here, I tell you. Play action. Goff immediately under pressure. Throws. It is incomplete. Wanted Brock Wright. There was 2 guys about ready to take his head off. So he had to get rid of that football. And now it is 3rd down and 3 into Eagle territory. Ball's at the Philly 45. 3rd down and 3. Pass coming. Goff quickly gets rid of it. It is knocked down, incomplete. Jalen Carter knocked that ball down. And on 4th down and 3, what do you think Dan Campbell's going to do? Even though his offense has failed to convert all night, you got to think at some point they'll break through. Boy, this Eagle defensive line is something else, folks. I'll tell you that. 0 for 4 on 4th down tonight. Have to convert here. They've had to convert on all of them as far as I'm concerned, but this one is the big one. There's a snap. Pass coming. Jared looking, throwing. It is incomplete. 0 for 5. This is unbelievable. Eagles will take over in their own territory, but at the 45-yard line, I mean, there's just nobody there. It's just not, the play is just not there. St. Brown was the intended receiver, but there's just nobody there. This Eagle defense is really good. Boy, this game is so close, but it feels so, also in a similar way, it feels so close to being so far away for Detroit. And all of these missed opportunities are the reason for that. As Barkley running into his own offensive line, he will finally be brought down for a loss of a yard. That makes it 2nd down. The Lion defense is playing about as tough as the Eagle defense, but it's just the Lions have had so many more opportunities. They've just not been able to pull the trigger and actually get it done. That is what's so frustrating about tonight so far. Final 40 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Ball at his own 45-yard line. Hurts going to throw. Hurts quickly gets rid of it to Barkley on a screen, and he'll be brought down at about the 49. There's a flag down. A.J. Brown appears to be hurt. Flag was near him. We'll see what this is. They're going to call a low block on Philly. That is a 15-yarder. A.J. Brown appears to be okay. Let's see. That's interesting. He kind of falls down a little bit. He hits Branch low. Okay, if you want to call that maybe a makeup call for the unnecessary roughness, then I guess that's what that is. Eagles have 6 penalties for 59 yards. Detroit just 3. 2nd down and 25, and I don't know if they're going to run a play here. Just given the way this game is going, why bother? They might run a play just to end the quarter, and they will not. So after 3, it is 13-6 Philly in a nail-biter of a game. Lions defense has showed up. Eagles defense has showed up. But neither team's offense has been able to get it going. Oh my gosh, 15 minutes to go and you're down 7. So many opportunities to be in this game. So many opportunities to be running away with this as far as I'm concerned. And the Lions offense just cannot do it. Oh my gosh. This is just agony. If we end up winning, it'll be worth it, but it's so 0 for 5 on 4th downs. I can't remember the last time we went 0 for 5 on 4th downs. I don't know if we ever have. Eagles defense is just unreal. Get a stop here. Get the ball back. And then please, just get to the end zone. I just can't take this. I can't take this. Oh my gosh. This is what it's like. To be like a team with expectations. It's like every week just feels like a. What is this? Oh, the Betsy Ross house. Okay, I was like, what is this, like a haunted house? No, Betsy Ross house. That's kind of neat. She made the flag. It's pretty neat. All right. They're going to say it's 2nd down and 18, actually. Hurts going to throw. Jalen under pressure. Jalen now running with it, and he is going to be forced out of bounds. And there's no flag. It looked like it might have been a little bit late on the hit, but he was still in bounds. And it'll be 3rd down and still pretty long, maybe about a 5-yard gain. Yeah, no, the tackle was made when he was still in bounds. Yeah, he hits him while he's still in bounds. That's a clean move. I mean, if the quarterback is actually a player, right? So it's 3rd down and 11. Got to get the stop here. Hurts gonna throw. Hurts has time. Now he's under pressure, rolling to his right. Throws. It is caught, but short. There is a flag down on the play. And it's going to be defensive holding. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? On 3rd down and 11, guys. Amik Robertson called for it. It's an auto first. That's brutal. That is so brutal. That is just brutal, man. You had a 3rd down and 11, and you don't stop them. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 49. Handoff to Barkley. He's got some blockers up front. There's a flag down in the backfield. This is coming back. This is probably coming back. Should be a hold based on Sirianni's reaction. And this time it will be offensive holding. Jordan Mailata called for it. Yeah, that's going to get called. That is going to get called every time. So it'll be 1st down and 19. Ball at the Eagle 40. And a handoff. Tank Bigsby, he's going to pick up those penalty yards to make it 2nd down. Why'd they say 19? Isn't it a 5-yard penalty? Shouldn't it be 2nd down and 15? Holding's not a 10-yard penalty, is it? No. 5-yard penalty. Yeah, holding is 5-yard penalty. Why did it say 19? Must have been a typo. I thought that was weird. Okay, now it's saying 2nd down and 14. Am I crazy? Okay, well, that's what it's saying. Hurts is going to throw. Throws it up high. It is caught by Devontae Smith, who is tackled by Mollett, short of the sticks. It's third down and pretty manageable. Third down and 6 is what they just said. Again, a huge chance for a stop here by this defense. It's definitely punt territory if they don't get this first down. Hurts in an empty set. A little high on the snap. Hurts going to run with it. Hurts has room. Hurts got the first down. Hurts is brought down by Anzalone. This is a depressing game, guys. Just like a slow death. That's what this game is. Nothing going offensively. Defense is keeping you in it, and it looks like maybe it's starting to break here. Need a big play. Need a turnover or something. Hurts. Throws it high and in the air and incomplete. Wanted Saquon Barkley, who had Jack Campbell beat, but not a great throw from Jalen. Yeah, pretty hard to catch up with Saquon Barkley if you're Jack Campbell. Yeah, but how long can we maintain that one-score lead? You know, right now, Philly's at least, I would say, in a range for a field goal. It'd be so just like us, in a way. It'd be so just miserable if they get a field goal and then we score a touchdown. Second and 10. Barkley, Hurts running away and finally getting rid of it. It is incomplete. Geez, he's lucky that it's just an incomplete pass. He very well could have gotten sacked there. Al-Quadin Muhammad was right there near him. It's third down and 10. And again, I mean, the wind does affect field goal kicks, but Jake Elliott is perfect tonight. Granted, this would be the deepest if they don't get this first down. Ball is at the Detroit 36.5. Pass coming. Hurts. Throw is caught, but short is A.J. Brown of the first down marker. Rock Ya-Sin. And the field goal team is coming out for Philly. This would be the deepest field goal of the night. And again, the wind. He's made it from 34 yards out tonight. This will be from nearly 50 yards. 49-yard field goal attempt. Snap, hold, kick is up, and he got it. Perfect kick from Jake Elliott. Makes it a 10-point lead for Philly. 16-6. First points of the second half come from the boot of Jake Elliott. And the wind, if it was having any effect, it's not having it in the game for Jake Elliott. He's got 9 of their points. I guess 10 if you count the extra point. Well, now if you don't score, this game is over, as far as I'm concerned. This is a brutal game, guys. This Eagles defense is just so unreal, and our offensive line is not able to do much against it. And it makes me all the more upset because the offense kept us in it. Or the defense has kept us in it. And the offense with the turnovers on downs, setting the Eagles up in good field position. Multiple occasions. You had the interception on the first drive of the game. and it's just been kind of a slow death in a way. And you got time to come back. Teams have come back from this spot before, but against this Eagle defense, I said all you need to do is get through a couple times. They've managed to get through once. Every other time, they've come up short. Where are you at right now, Jimmy? Why are you not at home? It's rather late. Are you working? I mean, that one should have been a catch. 4th and goal. You had Brock right there, Jared. 4th and 3. That was just bad. It was just nothing was open there. First game with 5 failures on 4th down since 2022. Oh, okay. So it's not as late. Jacob Sailor's taking this one out to about just past the 25-yard line. I mean, third quarter possessions for the Lions. Turnover on downs, turnover on downs, turnover on downs. And those are not bad drives. I mean, they're all at least 30-plus yards. Goff calling an audible. Now going under center. Hands it off to Gibbs. Gibbs cuts to the outside. Jahmyr Gibbs going to pick up the first down. About an 11-yard gain. And again, time is a factor right now. Less than 10 minutes to go here. Detroit got to get themselves a touchdown or a field goal on this drive. Preferably the touchdown, because you set yourself up much better to where you don't have to get the touchdown on a drive than that you do. Goff's going to throw. Goff under pressure. Goff gets rid of it. It's incomplete. Just able to get rid of it and avoid the sack, which is huge. Stops the clock. 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Jalen Phillips acquired at the trade deadline by the Eagles, and he's made an impact. He's got a sack tonight, and just there, he almost had another. Goff's going to throw. Goff airs it out. St. Brown, and they're going to say it's incomplete, a little low. Jeez, what a tough night. Tough night for Saint. 13 for 28 for Jared. 228 yards, touchdown, and a pick. It's 3rd down and 10. You got to convert here. I mean, you got to get a touchdown. You just got to. Just say it like it is. Goff going to throw. Jared airs it out, and it is incomplete. Quinyon Mitchell has completely nullified Amon-Ra St. Brown tonight. It's 4th and 10, and after a first down from Jahmyr Gibbs, nothing. That was not Quinyon Mitchell. That was Jackson. I mean, this Eagles team is run by their defense. That's for sure. And tonight, it has been the Eagles defense over a powerhouse Lions offense. Oh, that ball was tipped, and it goes out of bounds. So the Eagles avoid catastrophe. Oh. Definitely hit it. Oh my gosh. Lions almost caught a huge break there. Golly. Is this an AI commercial? Like made by AI? Because that rooster, that chicken, whatever that animal is supposed to be, it kind of looks like AI. Yeah, that's definitely AI. This is definitely AI. Oh my gosh, guys. It's death by 1,000 cuts. That's what this game has been. Just a misery of just slowly seeing the game fall away from you because your offense just cannot get anything going. I think it's the Eagle defensive line better than your defensive line. To be fair, your defensive line has played pretty well against their offensive line. I don't think they've been able to really run the ball all over you, and Jalen Hurts is not. It's not the Eagles' offense is just not that good, but their defense is so far and away better than any other. Like they have such an ability to stop any team's or offense, I should say, with that defense. It's not a fun brand of football to watch. At least if you're not a fan of either of these teams, you're not really. This game is probably pretty boring to you, but. Eagles take over at their own 15. Hurts going to keep it. Now he'll throw. It is caught for a first down. Goddard. Derek Barnes made the tackle. Surprised there's no flag because it looked like he brought him down after he was out of bounds. "32-yard line is the spot. Hurts hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is brought down by Alex Anzalone for a gain of about 7, maybe 8. Probably 7. Final 8 minutes of this game, 10-point lead for Philly, and what has been just a, yeah, I don't know, depressing game. Handoff to Barkley, and he is going to be brought down finally at maybe the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten a yard. They're going to, wow. I mean, the fact that he got something on that play. It's third down. Jeez, look at all these play callers. Play callers for Jalen Hurts since 2016. He has had one that remained for more than 1 year, and that was Shane Steichen from 21 to 22. That is crazy. And here we go. They're lined up for the tush push, and ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure if he got it. And they're going to call him short. But are they just going to keep the offense out there? It's going to be 4th and inches, and they're going for it. And they're just going to run the same play. Oh, and he jumped! Oh, my goodness. False start is going to be called on the Eagles. Oh, wow. What a mistake. Darius Cooper called for the false start. Lions are going to get the ball with 6:25 to go. Now, again, the time is a major factor. Detroit's got to put together 2 scoring drives, which is something they haven't been able to do all night. But they got a chance to do it. But I guess credit to the Lions. They, I guess, technically stopped the tush push twice. And Raymond going to let it bounce, and it will take a favorable bounce for the Eagles. 6:14 to go. Need a scoring drive of some kind. All right, enough with this stupid Terry Crews. The worst part about this commercial is that Drew Aller is in it, but he's terrible. He's not even the quarterback for Penn State anymore. It's like, oh, that did not age well at all. You got a quarterback who's not even starting for his team anymore as your NIL representative for Ram. Not a good look. Boy, that looks terrible. That movie looks absolutely terrible. The Oh What Fun, that looks so insufferably bad. Like, the premise is, because you're not watching, but the premise seems to be a mom who feels underappreciated, and so she leaves. And the family is so apparently incapable of doing anything else. Okay. 6:14 to go. Lions need 10 points in that amount of time. Goff under center. There's your snap, play action pass. Goff just going to throw a screen to Gibbs. Going to be incomplete. There was pressure coming, and Goff is lucky that ball was in front of him, or else that would have been a loss for a backwards pass. Goff under immediate pressure gets rid of it. It is tipped, incomplete, nearly got sacked, and then nearly got intercepted. And it is 3rd down and 10. And once again, just this death by 1,000 cuts. I think he jumped. Did he jump past? Is that what they just said? Third down and 10. Goff has some time. Goff airs it out. It's wide open to J-Mo. It's caught. And he's still on his feet. And he kind of gets tripped by St. Brown there. But a huge gain. And the offense will stay on the field. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. Finally, a play on a 3rd down goes right. Needed a play like that. That's for sure. Maybe that will put a jolt into this offense. Still got to get into Eagle territory, though. Play action again. Goff has to get rid of it. Wanted Jahmyr Gibbs. Went through his hands. 2nd and 10. 5:20 to go. And it's just the amount of pressure that the Philadelphia Eagles have been able to put on Jared Goff so quickly. It just goes to show this offensive line is in need of work. The loss of Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler in the offseason and really playing major factors in this game. 2nd and 10. Another throw coming. Jared knocked down again by Jalen Carter. And we are right back in it with a 3rd down and 10. I mean, this might be the best defensive line I've ever seen. I know our offensive line is not exactly a world beater, but I've never seen a defensive line that has batted down so many of Jared Goff's passes. I've never seen a defensive line bat down anybody's passes that many times. If there is any team in the NFC that can win a Super Bowl on the backs of its defense, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's 3 for 11 on 3rd down for Detroit. Goff airs it out, looking deep. It is incomplete to Jahmyr Gibbs. It'll be 4th down and 10. And obviously, given the circumstances in the game, Lions are going to be going for it. Goff is 14 for 35 in what is easily one of his worst games in a very long time. They're just going to punt it? They're just going to punt it. Okay, I guess that I get that too, but so after a big 1st down to Jameson Williams, Lions come up with a bunch of incompletions and a fair catch at the 20. It's just a numbers game at this point, fellas. Hard to score 10 points in 5 minutes when your defense when your offense is not on the field. That's what I'm trying to say. First and 10 for the Eagles. Hurts And I hand it off to Barkley, and Barkley is going to be brought down for a gain of 2 at that. Or if that, I should say. Detroit still has all 3 timeouts, and I imagine they are saving them for a potential 2-minute drive. But again, just not a whole lot of reason to believe that this team can march down the field against this defense, straight up. Second and 8. Another handoff to Barkley, and that time he will be just short. 3rd down and 1. The trade deadline already happened, Jimmy. I don't know if you missed it. That was last week. Tush push looks to be successful. Maybe not. Wait a minute. And he's going to be short. So it's 4th down and inches again. And give the Lions credit. Like, they were one of the teams that voted to not ban the tush push in the offseason. They managed to stop it. Granted, it's 4th and inches, so it's not like now you're just going to just going to try it again with 3 minutes to go. And they just let it go all the way and then call a TO. So I guess my takeaway right now about this game and about this team is that as much as John Morton's play calling was problematic for this offense, the offensive line is the bigger problem. And I suspected that, but obviously it's like you're kind of going up against 2 very different situations. As Hurts is going to go for it, and I don't think he got it. He did not. Oh, wait a minute. Lions are going to get the football with 2:54, finally in really positive territory. You're in field goal range to make it a 1-possession game. Wait a minute, folks. We might have something brewing. Wow, he definitely didn't get it. Again, give the Lions credit. They're one of the teams that didn't vote or voted to not ban the tush push, and they have stopped it on multiple occasions. Well, we will see. Lions want any sort of score at this point, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Preferably, you'd want the touchdown here, but they're in field goal range. Fakes the toss. Goff under pressure. Goff gets rid of it and incomplete to Jamison Williams. If he would have caught that, he would have had nothing but green grass. He didn't drop it. It's just a little off on the throw. Nakobe Dean, boy, he just didn't move. And then he went out in coverage. Wasn't a great throw from Jared. No, not a good throw at all. 2nd and 10. Pass coming. Jared under some pressure. He's brought down. And are they saying that he threw it, or it's going to be 3rd down and long? Surprised Detroit's not calling timeout or anything. Why would I not look if I'm squeamish? Oh, geez, Dave Montgomery got massacred. Oh, so I think Lions fell on it. I don't know where the ball exactly ended up. It's 3rd down and 17. They got to run one more play here for the 2-minute warning. Pass coming. Jared looking. Airs it out. It is nearly intercepted. Wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown. Would have been a great throw. But it's 4th down and 17. And I'm assuming they're bringing Jake Bates out, right? It was tipped in the air. They're going for it. I guess they're out of field goal range, or Eagles call it TO. They got just one left. I don't understand. Why are they not in field goal range? Am I crazy? Maybe that was the thought. They wanted to see if they could get a penalty on Philly. And yeah, it looks like they're bringing out the field goal team. I was going to say, no reason to not at least make it a 1-score game. Bates has already missed an extra point tonight, kicking in this side of the field as well. .54-yard field goal attempt. This is the longest of either team to make it a 7-point game. Snap, hold, kick. It is good. Bates makes it a 1-possession game at the 2-minute warning. Minute 58 to go. I do wonder if the Lions are going to try an onside kick here. They do have all 3 timeouts. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they really have to. But Jake Bates keeps the hope alive for Detroit. But that's a great kick from Bates in a tough spot. I don't think they're going to onside kick this. I don't think there's any reason to. I would rather trust my defense. My defense has been playing well. Yep. Got 3 timeouts. You got to make them go 3 and out. The only way you got a chance to be in this game and drive it into overtime or win it in regulation with a two-point conversion, which, again, that missed extra point is huge. And so no onside kick attempt here for Detroit. Just make sure that you pin them as deep as you can. And it'll be bounced into the back of the end zone for a touchback. And some rain coming down now. Like a rain-snow combination. First and 10. Hurts out of the shotgun. There's your snap. Handoff to Barkley, and he is brought down at about the 39-yard line. Second down, and the Lions call TO. Minute 53 to go. Got to get the stop. Got to get the stops. And you got to think Philadelphia would prefer to just run this football to force Detroit to use the timeouts. Barkley with 22 carries and 71 yards. He just had a 5-yard run there. Hurts going to hand it off again, and that time Barkley is stuffed again. That time a 2-yard gain, and Detroit calls the second timeout. Now, what is Philly going to do? On a third down and pretty short, do you just run the football and force Detroit to use that last timeout and hope you get it? Or do you just go for it all? I got a feeling, knowing Sirianni, he's probably going to want to throw it. At least just based on my understanding of how he likes to call his games. But I think the right decision here would be to run the ball if you're Philadelphia. But we'll see what they end up doing. If you can get it to third down and 1, or, fourth down and 1, I should say. Here we go. They're going to throw. And there's a whistle and a flag for a false start. That's going to make it third down and 8. Frank Johnson called for the penalty. And since the clock was not running, there is no 10-second runoff. Oh, yeah. Number 74. He jumped. It's third down and 8. It's a huge chance here. Detroit's got to get the stop. This is probably your final opportunity to get. This is for the game, or at least stay alive. Another pass. Hurts. Airs it out. It is incomplete. And that's huge because the clock stops. And a flag comes in. Are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. That is no way you're going to end the football game like that. There is no way you're going to end the game like that. Are you kidding me? On what? On what? That is awful. That is the worst call I have seen in years. That is terrible. Just terrible. How can you end a football game like that? They're going to run it with Saquon. That'll be a no-yard gain. Detroit will call its final timeout. That is absolutely terrible. And these referees should be ashamed that that's how this is probably going to end the game. That is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Ball is not even close to A.J. Brown, and Scene is playing perfect defense. That is just terrible. When this defense had given the Lions a chance, and that's all you can ask for is a chance, to have that ripped right from them like that is utterly unforgivable. Barkley's going to take the carry for about a 1-yard gain. Detroit can't stop the clock as it'll count down the final minute and a half. And Detroit, Philly's probably just going to run the ball here anyway. Because why wouldn't you? That is just terrible. Utterly terrible. And you give credit to the Eagles. They've played a great game on defense. And even if we get the stop there's no guarantee one way or the other. But you can't end the game like that. You just can't. Philly calls its final timeout with 57 seconds to go. That is so gosh dang frustrating. Absolutely infuriating to end the football game on a penalty like that. Heck, to end the game on a penalty in general is infuriating, but on that, unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. Third down and 8. That's ridiculous. They do need to get fired. Put these referees on the post-game press conference. I want to know what they saw. Because I don't know if we're watching the same football game. They're going to run it with Barkley. Barkley's spin move. He's going to dive for the first down, and that will officially end it. That is utterly unforgivable. Unforgivable from the referees. That is a terrible way to end a football game. Absolutely terrible. And I'm not saying that we would have gone down the field and scored a touchdown and gotten a 2-point and won the game outright. But you got to give us a chance. That is so utterly unforgivable. And that now is the story of the game. As much as this Lions offense has struggled and how great this Eagle defense has looked all game, the story of this game is that the referees screwed the Detroit Lions. Absolutely terrible. That is infuriating. The Lions will fall to a record of 6-4. Congrats to the Eagles. They played a perfect game on defense. But that is absolutely terrible. I don't know how many more times I can say it. I'm not even that mad that we lost at this point. Like, I'm really not. Now I'm more mad at the call. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, it's not much more to say. Geez, now I just want to talk about this because I'm fired up right now. Mr. X is here in the chat. Good to see you here, man. Tough game, tough loss for sure. Offense struggled, no doubt about it. Defense for the Eagles is unbelievable. I give them all the credit in the world. It is what it is. That is one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I would get it if they were calling ticky-tack all game. I would get it if it was two guys fighting with their hands. I would get it. You had Rocky Sin playing the position as it is meant to be played. And you call a pass interference. You hadn't called pass interference all freaking game. And you call it in that spot on a third down where Detroit would get the football back with 1 and 47 seconds down 7 with one timeout. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go full conspiracy mode. I don't know that sports betting has affected the way games are officiated, but I do know this. There's been players who've been expelled from leagues because of sports betting. Who's to say referees aren't involved in it? I'm not saying we would have won. To all the stupid Eagle fans who will probably see this and laugh, haha, see your team lost, you suck. Whatever, I don't care. Enjoy your garbage city in Philadelphia. I don't care. That is terrible. That is the worst call that I've seen in years. You can't end a football game like that. And if you're an honest Eagles fan, you agree with me. If you are not just a slap-happy homer, you agree you can't end the game that way. You can't. Lions couldn't run the football, and that's partly why the offense struggled as much as it did. I think that goes without saying. I said basically the story of the game as far as the actual game is Eagles defensive line better than your offensive line. Straight up. The trench battle was won by Philadelphia throughout the game. Their offense stinks. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Eagles offense stinks. It's a problem. You just couldn't take advantage. You go 0 for 5 on fourth down. You convert the 4th and goal that you had. We're talking about a different game right now. You convert a couple of other 4th downs like that. That's wow. Like, yeah, you're probably not going to have a game where as a team you go 0 for 5 on 4th down very often. It's probably not going to happen. Eagles defense played perfectly. Your offense did not play perfectly. You had guys dropping passes. You had Amon-Ra dropping passes. You had J-Mo dropping passes. You couldn't really run the football. And then on top of it, to end the game, one of the worst calls that I've ever seen to end a football game. And I've watched a lot of Lions games. The only solace I have is that, look, you don't lose the Super Bowl in November. You lose it in January or February, depending on how far you go. It's a really good Eagles team. You're playing them on the road. You're out your tight end, and you played them pretty tough. It came down to a terrible call at the end of the football game. In a way, like, I'm not happy about the loss. I'm never happy about any loss. But that is just the worst way to end a football game. And I cannot stress this enough, okay? And they just give the entire players of the game to the defensive line to the Eagles. Hey, yes, correct. And I know that there's going to be people who will talk about, well, this is the difference. The Eagles bought at the deadline. They got Jalen Phillips. He's one of their players of the game. He had a sack in the game. He's part of that defensive line. Fair, totally fair. I think it's a fair point. The Lions could have been involved in the Jalen Phillips sweepstakes. They obviously didn't do that. Well, whether Jalen Phillips would have made the impact on our defense compared to the Eagles defense is another question. But our defense played well. So I'm not even really mad about not getting Jalen Phillips, because if we got Jalen Phillips, they didn't, maybe you say it wouldn't affect the game. But Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter both played incredibly as well. We can talk about the trade deadline by the end of the year as far as where this team ends up going and where other teams end up going. But that is just, they had not called pass interference all game. And that is where I get suspicious. Like, don't call pass interference all game and then you call it right in that spot in Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football. The world is watching. This is a potential NFC Championship preview, and that is how you end the game. I'm sorry, but I just fundamentally, in principle, disagree with that call at that spot. Even if it was PI, like, even if he was all over him, and it was like, I don't even think you should call it there, because you're in that spot. The game is in the hands now of the other opposing team's offense. And I'd like, you mentioned in Mr. X earlier, you couldn't be an NFL head coach because you wouldn't be able to keep it cool on these referees. I mean, if I'm Dan Campbell right now, or if I'm Calvin Shepard or any Jared Goff, whoever they interview post game, I'm sorry. Like, that referee ought to be ashamed of himself. That's one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I mean, lose the game, fine. I can live with losing the game. Lose the game like that? No, absolutely not. I won't take that. I simply won't. And we're going to be talking about it on Tuesday for sure. I don't want to stay up too much longer. I don't have work, or I took work off tomorrow because I knew I was doing this game. But look, we'll have to forget about it. We'll have to move on to New York. That's the next opponent. We got New York and then Green Bay. A little short week for Thanksgiving. But gosh, man, that was a brutal game to watch. Offense didn't look good. I think it has more to do with the Eagles defense being that good, because the Eagles defense has done that to teams all year, with a few teams notwithstanding. I'm upset. I'm sad, and I don't want to I don't want to let my emotions overtake the actual on-the-ground analysis that I'll hopefully provide more accurately on Tuesday night. Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough way to lose a football game. So, look, it's 11:41 at night. I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't know what time it is where you're at, some of you people, but it's 11:41 at night. I'm gonna go and pray. Basically, that's not a joke. I am actually gonna go do that. Yeah. You know what? Now we're back into it. Probably would have been less mad if we got the ball and failed to score, and I would have been very unhappy. Yes. If we get the ball, we don't score. Okay. The story of the game, Eagle defense good, our offensive line not good. I can live with that. I can live with that for sure. Like, I can live with we didn't do enough. And we didn't do enough up to this point. But at that spot, you just can't call a penalty. You just can't. Okay? Like, let me calm down. Let me collect myself. Okay. Did the offense play bad? Yes. Did they fail to convert 5 fourth downs? Yes. Were they unable to establish a run game? Yes. Were they put, in fairly tough spots by bad special teams? Yes. All of this is true. Was the play calling at times somewhat questionable? Yes. And in losses, this is what happens. You start to pick and cherry pick bad plays that you didn't like and things you didn't understand. So what happens in a loss never happens in a win, just for the record. Yes, all of those things are true. I'm not happy with the way the offense performed. I'm not happy with the overall performance. I'm not happy with losing. I'm never happy with losing. I made that very clear. But what I don't want to have to do is play 2 opponents at once. And people who argue on the other side of it will say, well, the Eagles got more penalties than you. It's not about the amount of penalties sometimes. It's about the particular times that the penalties are called. Like the fact that the Eagles had a questionable, I don't know, what was it? What was the questionable? The questionable low block penalty earlier in the game. We had a questionable unnecessary roughness penalty as far as I'm concerned. Overall, in the stretch of the game, the pass interference at the end of that game affected the outcome. It did. It made it so that it was borderline impossible for the Lions to win the game. Whereas if the stop happens and the Eagles are forced to punt it with a timeout, Detroit, they've been able historically to march down the field on teams. Now, if there's any silver lining to this loss, I think the defense looks excellent. It's back-to-back weeks where this defense has not allowed a touchdown. Maybe not back-to-back weeks where they've done that, but for significant points in the game, they allowed 1 touchdown in the whole game, and it was on the tush-push final drive of the half. It seems like this year it's about defenses right now. But I think if you run this game back, I don't know that it's a win for Philly. And I think Philly would agree. You run this game back. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where seeding ends up and everything. But I hate losing to Philadelphia. I hate Philadelphia sports. I hate Philadelphia, the city. I'm mostly kidding. But I guess the other thing, and I want to try to, I know I'm upset and I'm angry that that's how the game ends, but I want to try to offer something. It's November. You don't lose Super Bowl in November, okay? And you're allowed to have bad games. You're allowed to lose to teams on the road, especially. Well, the concerns are real. The offensive line is not as good as it was last year. And that obviously is affecting your offense's ability to do what it needs to do. So, we'll see what ends up happening. By the end of the season, we'll have more of an idea of, okay, what is it that we need to do? And how can we improve the team? Hey. Oh, gosh, I got something in my eye. I'm sorry. Okay. But, this Lions team is still very good. I don't want people to dog on Jared Goff or on Dan Campbell or whatever. It's not a reasonable thing to do. But it's a tough loss. Tough loss. So, as you can see, my eyes are very red. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. So, I will take off here. We'll talk about this game on Tuesday and the screw job that happened at the very end. But there's a lot to talk about. So, we'll get to it. Appreciate anybody for stopping by and listening in. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We are live every single Tuesday evening for our regular talk show, breaking down all the news of sporting world of the week, and obviously live reactions for Lions games. Here for those. We'll be back next Sunday for the 1:00 game against the G-Men, which will hopefully be that bounce back game Detroit would need going into Thanksgiving. So thank you all for stopping by again. Have a good rest of your night. And if you're out partying, please get home safe. Don't be stupid. So, have a good night, everybody. Talk to you on Tuesday.